I'm just going to go through a few of the settings that we've put on this iPad to show you how we've set it up so that it can be safe for children to use. And I'm also going to show you some of the basic ways that you can use some of the controls on the iPad as well. So the first thing is that this iPad has got filtering on it, so it won't get every site on the internet. If there are sites that are dangerous or unsuitable for children, then they will be blocked out. The next thing is that the way that we've actually set this iPad up is that you can't delete these apps. Normally if you put your finger on an app and you hold it down, then you can delete it, but for these you can't actually delete these apps. You'll notice as well that there's no app store, so you can't install your own apps on the iPad. Now if you hold the iPad vertically like this, on the top right hand side, on the outside of the iPad, you'll feel two buttons, and so there's one there for moving the volume down, and then there's another one for moving the volume up, so you can move the volume up and down. On the top of your iPad you've got your lock button, so you can press that to lock the iPad. So I'm just going to open a couple of apps here. So if I open, say for example, Seesaw, and then that's open. So I'm going to press the home button, the little button that's at the bottom of the iPad, and I'm just going to open a different app. So let's see, I'll open Apple Clips. So I've got these two different apps open now. So if I want to actually move between an app, if I press the home button, those apps will close, but you will see down at the bottom that these are the latest apps that I've opened, and I can just tap on one of those to get back to them. The other thing I can do is I can press the home button twice like this, 1, 2, and it will open up all the apps that I've got open at the minute. So sometimes if you're using an app and it's not working properly, then you can actually stop the app from running, and the way that you do that is tap the home button twice, just like I've done there, and then if you move over the screen where one of these apps is and just flick it upwards, and then that will stop it working, that will turn the app off. Okay, now one of the things that that happens is if I choose this app, so this is an app for programming called Scratch Junior. So if I choose that, the first time that I'm going to open this, it's going to say, where am I going to use this? So I'll just say home and open it like that. But because I've used this before, I'm not getting a prompt. It will normally say, do you give permission to use the camera, and do you give permission to use the microphone? And some apps will also say, do you give permission to use photos? So you really need those for this to be able to work. So if I open Shadow Puppet here and then just go through some of the things on here and then say let's go in the bottom right hand corner, and then if I make a new Shadow Puppet down here, straight away it says it would like to access your photos. So I need to say OK so that it can see the photos. Now there are no photos on this iPad, but that's how you choose them. Now it's really important that when an app is asking to use the microphone, the camera or photos, that you say OK. Now if your child says don't allow, and it turns out you can't use the camera or the microphone or the photos, what you can do is if I press the home button and then if I press it again, it'll go back to the first page, and then it says settings. So I'm going to tap on this button here that says settings, and then I'm going to go down to where it says privacy down here on this side. I'm going to tap privacy, and then you'll see there that I've got all the things that the iPad needs access to. So one of those might be microphone, one of those is camera, and then there are photos there, which are the main ones that apps will need to use. So if I've already given permission for Scratch Junior to use the camera, but if I tap on the camera there, you will see I've got a list of apps that are allowed to use the camera that I've said are allowed to use. Now if I'd said you're not allowed to use the camera, this would be turned off, and all I do is I just turn it back on like that. So if you do find you're trying to use an app and your child has said don't allow, you can't use the camera or you can't use the microphone, that's how you turn it back on. Now there are just a few more basic things in using the iPad. So if I pull down from the top right hand corner up here with my finger and pull it down, I get what's called the control center. And so this lets me do a few things. I can turn the brightness up and down on the iPad, and then this button is the volume, so I can turn the volume up and down on the iPad as well. So over here I've got my Wi-Fi. I can turn my Wi-Fi on and off, or my Bluetooth on and off. And then here I've got my lock rotation. So at the moment, if I turn this iPad, then it will change from landscape to portrait like this. So if I turn it, it will do this. But if I use the lock rotation, if I pull that one down and I turn that one on, when I actually turn it, nothing will happen. So it will stay in the same orientation. On this second page of the site, you'll see this group of icons here. And if I click on this first one that says how to use your, then that will load up this page that this video is on, and this video that I'm making now will be here. But you've also got these other links. You've got one that says school logins. So if I go to this, this is where if you've got a username and password from school, you might be able to log in to some of the things that school has, like My Maths, Phonics Play, Purple Mash, Education City, and so on. So what you'll do is, if you click on it, you'll need the login information from school to be able to log in. So where it says on Purple Mash, find my school's login page, if you tap on that, then it will ask you to name your school or put the postcode in, and then you'll be able to put your own username and password in. So if I come back to here, that's this page that says school logins. We've also got this second page that says useful sites. So if you tap on this page, this will take you to a list of useful resources where you can find online lessons that you can do. So things like Oak Academy, White Rose Maths, BBC Bite Size. There are some others as well. This one is a really good one, the free audio books from Audible. If you click on it down there, it's got lots of stories that you can listen to that are on your iPad. So if I go down here and I want to listen to this story by Winnie the Pooh, I can tap on it and then just tap start listening, and then
this is Audible Kids.
It will start playing, so we can listen to stories on it. We've also got, if we go back, we've got links to online safety up here, so we can find lots of information about staying safe online, lots of really useful websites there.